My dear friends, today is April 23, 2023. In exactly a year, elected delegates, church leaders, observers, and guests from around the globe will gather in Charlotte, North Carolina for the General Conference of the United Methodist Church. Originally scheduled to be held in 2020 in Minneapolis, this General Conference was postponed numerous times due to the global pandemic, and is now scheduled to be held from April 23rd to May 3rd of 2024. Now, as you listen to this, I know that your responses are varied, ranging from an expectant and hopeful, finally, to a skeptical and probably jaded, I doubt that this one will actually be different than the ones before, to an apathetic and disinterested, who cares? What does that have to do with me? And believe me, I get it. I understand the different places that you are coming from and the myriad of responses. But like it or not, this has something to do with us because we are a connectional church. And what happens in one level of the connection sends ripples and sometimes waves that are felt by the others on the other end. We know and have experienced the harm of the tsunamis caused by the actions or inaction of general conferences past to our ministry and especially to our LGBTQIA+ siblings. Now, who knows what will happen next year? Who knows how the postponed 2020 General Conference will choose to act? We really have no control over the outcomes. Not even our delegation does, and they have been hard at work, studying legislation and trends and building relationship networks and coalitions. And so I invite us to be in prayer for them. But what we do have control of is how we as an annual conference, which is the basic unit of our connection, chooses to act in preparation for and in response to General Conference. We cannot just sit idly waiting for General Conference to act, and we cannot let the delay of its convening hinder us from continuing to engage in mission and ministry during this time in ways and with the people that we believe God is calling us to. In 2016, the Desert Southwest Conference discerned a vision to be a courageous church, that in the face of the denomination's instability and inaction and continuing decline, you embraced a vision of vitality and growth by being a courageous church that loves like Jesus, that acts for justice, and that is united in hope. You declared that you are a connection of lay and clergy leaders, extending Christ's presence of love, justice, and hope in a fearful and broken world. Stepping into this role as your Episcopal leader, this vision resonated with me, and I believe that it is still relevant today. During the season headed into General Conference, I am committing to leading and journeying with you. Let this be a season of discerning what we are truly called to be and to courageously step into that. Let this be a season of action, where we will act our way into a new way of being church that God is truly calling us to be. And let this be a season of hopeful prayer, where we live into the hope that Christ offers us. I invite us once again to live into this vision and this call. Let's be a church that courageously loves like Jesus, courageously acts for justice, and is courageously united in hope. And by doing so, may we send ripples and waves all the way to the General Conference, all the way to the rest of the connection and to the world. I close with the words of God to Joshua at his installation as Israel's new leader at the end of a prolonged liminal time. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. May God grant us the wisdom and the courage for the living of these days. Amen.